election, but we cannot participate in their election, and they can participate in our election because we consolidated.
And where and I know Lafayette is one of the biggest cities. Well, it's the biggest city out of all the municipalities. How does Lafayette get its chief?
The mayor appoints the chief, and then the city council have to approve his recommendation.
But when the mayor appoints the chief, he's under the direction of the mayor and not the chief of police.
So big is.
Hold on, let's see, Mr. I want to direct that comment again.
I said when the mayor president appoint the chief, he's not under the direction of the people of Lafayette. He's under the direction of the mayor president of Lafayette.
Correct.
So, in other words, he don't have truly obligation to the people, but he got true obligation to the mayor president of the city of Lafayette.
Correct.
So big is the city of Lafayette. Do you think that the citizens of Lafayette shouldn't be charged with picking who they want for their chief?
Well, you see, that's the problem that we have now. We have a charter, and the charter says, in other words, you cannot amend the charter. You just can't say, hey, look, the Lafayette should have election for our mayor, or Lafayette should have election for our chief of police. Lafayette should have election. It's a charter, so it has to be brought to the people to change the charter, to amend the charter. And that is the reason why I started the committee as far as protecting the city. But then the parish decided to have another committee because they don't want to let go of the city. So we cannot do it unless it's brought to the people. And both council, the parish council and the city council, have to agree to bring it to the ballot for the people to vote on it. And right now the parish do not want it to come to the people for a vote. So that's the problem. That's what that's the reason why I didn't like, and I did not like, and I still don't like, fix the charter.
And I agree with you.
Because we cannot do anything. We cannot do anything as far as split away. We need to get with them. Anything, just about anything that happens. If it's joint, we have to get their approval. Yeah. And I mean, it works bad for them as well too, don't it? I mean, it works on both sides because no one is there to break a tie.
Yeah,
because we 5-5. And one time when I first ran for election, I was a Lafayette Parish City Council, City Parish. We had five city council members, and we had 4 parish council members. So, you know, it was an odd number. It was 9.
No. And you know what, Councilman? I look at it like this here. It was 3 people that was getting ready to get out of office, you know, that had the privilege of being under the council charter, and they want to change it to fix the charter, you know, redistricting, you know, and I don't have a problem with calling these people names, but I'm reserve that for a later time, you know, and they the one that was claiming, you know, that they was all good with all of this here. You know, that was the best thing since cotton candy for the city of Lafayette, and that was the worst thing that they could ever do for the city of Lafayette. And they still talking that sugar-coated mouth crap, you understand me, that what they did was good. But what they did was the worst thing for the city of Lafayette.
Let's talk a little bit about the findings of the City Parish Alignment Commission. Their recommendations to the Parish Council was that Lafayette doesn't need an elected mayor. Lafayette doesn't need an elected chief of police, but it could be open to it if the city of Lafayette stopped growing faster than the other municipalities. Um, how do you feel about those findings, given that there was no, really no town hall going into the different communities and discussing it? How you feel about those findings? Do you think those findings are accurate?
Well, when you look at it, who was on the committee? When the committee that we had, Protect the City Committee, we had people from, everybody's in Lafayette Parish, but we had a lot of different people from that represent the parish and the city. And when you have people that's represent an unincorporated area that's not paying any city tax to a city, how you think it's going to be? They love living that way. They love not paying taxes. And why should they pay tax? Because if they need something, only the city of Lafayette will help them. They have what they call, I know Mr. Watt said all the time, the cow. How you say that? The phrase you use again? What's that phrase? You always using about they have all the golden cow.
Yeah, they got the golden egg.
They got the golden. Yeah. So I mean, Lafayette helps them out. So I mean, they don't have to worry about anything if they need a drainage project or they need the potholes. If they have an asphalt street, they need some type of service. They don't have to worry about it. Lafayette is there to back them up. So why would they want to change it? I mean, that's who's on that committee. They don't want to change it. And I mean, you pay. Look, I hear these comments. We pay city tax when we buy something in Lafayette. I purchase things in Lafayette. We all do. All four of us in here purchase things in. And no matter where we go, Brother J lives in New Iberia. If I buy something in New Iberia, I pay city tax in New Iberia, but the money stays in New Iberia. The money doesn't come into my house. And that's what they say. We pay city tax when we go to Lafayette. But if you live in Broussard or close to Broussard, you happen to be in an unincorporated area, if you buy something in Broussard, Youngville, Scott, the money stays there. The money doesn't go to the unincorporated area. If you purchase something in an unincorporated area, then the money stays there. So what they are using it as an excuse that when we purchase something in Lafayette, that's when I pay city tax to Lafayette. But you don't buy it just in Lafayette. You go to New Orleans, you go to New Iberia, Opelousas. When you purchase something, and the taxes stay in that community, in that jurisdiction. So, but they keep saying, that's one of they saying that I pay tax when I go to Lafayette. Okay, fine, but it stays in Lafayette. It doesn't go to an unincorporated area. They know it, but they're just trying to twist the wording so the people can be thrown off, just like the parish against Lafayette, Lafayette against the parish. No, we're not against nobody. Mr. Falk, you made the comment earlier that there's a small amount of people that live in the unincorporated area. There's around 70,000 people living in the unincorporated area. That's a lot of people that's not paying tax. Do the math. If they pay only $50 a year, not a month, $50 a year, that's over $3 million.
Correct.
Just at $50 a year. Do the math, $100 a year. This is how much money they can generate if they only pay that. But they don't want to pay that.
They don't want to pay.
And I pay property tax to the city, and I pay about $80 a year. Or no, I think $200 a year. And I'm saying they only pay $50 a year. And they don't want to pay that. So I hope neither one of you guys live in an unincorporated area, but if y'all do, I'm only saying the truth.
I've been a city resident all my life.
Right.
So, Mr. Lewis, I know the parish haven't announced yet, or they haven't held a vote on to whether they're going to go with the findings of the City Parish Alignment Commission. But if they do go with the findings and it's unfavorable to the city, what would the next step be?
Well, the only other thing we can do, because I think the findings is correct, they decide that's what they want to do. The only other thing we would have to do is do a petition, and I think we need about 12,000 signatures, and we have, I think, roughly about 60 days to get that, which is, I think, is doable. We'd have to get a committee formed, and not just 1 or 3 people. We'd have to have probably about at least a couple of hundred people to go out there and get these petitions signed, not only registered voters now, not only just in Lafayette, it have to be parish-wide. Because I talk to a lot of people that live in these other cities or municipalities in Youngville or County Crow and Scott. They don't have a problem with Lafayette having his own mayor or our own chief of police. They don't. The people that have a problem with it is the people that live in the unincorporated. And I hate to keep saying it, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
They are the ones, and again, they are the ones because they benefit.
Yeah.
You see, and if you live in these other cities, they're doing everything they're supposed to do.
That's why,
You know, yeah.
that's why they don't wanna annex into, our city.
Well, it's not normally annexed. Well, yeah, you are right when it comes to part. A lot of people say, why don't we just annex them all into a city?
Mhm.
But then it depends what city would want them. I mean, because
They don't wanna,
they don't want to annex.
they don't wanna go into a
They
city.
don't want to go into a city. Like
Yeah,
that's
well-
why I say they don't want to go into a city, and because they're not. If they go into a city, if you go in Youngsville, you have to pay higher tax than anywhere else. Youngsville have the highest tax, I believe, in Louisiana.
But Youngville is growing.
Well, of course, and people don't mind living there.
Mhm.
I'm gonna say like St. Andrew Parish, President Jesse Broussard. They want that smooth ride home, but they don't want to pay the taxes for it.
Yeah. You know, they want somebody else to, come out of their pocket to do it, you know?
The city of Lafayette.
So that's the findings. That's their findings is that they want to leave it as is. And again, you had I can't remember. I think 9 people that was on that committee, and they had I know a few of them that was on there. They feel that the findings should be opposite. They agree. I think it was 3 or 4 agree that Lafayette should have its own mayor and own elected chief of police, and you know,
And
but they were overruled.
Keith, give all the disclosure again. You want community.
oh, we're talking on community matters, and we're talking to City Councilman District 1 for the city of Lafayette, Patrick Lewis, and we got to give a shout out to our director, Brother Jay. You don't want to get in on the mic side today.
Don't tangle with them city council.
And if you want to, if you have questions or concerns or comments, you can dial 337-347-7236. That'll get you in touch with us. And the phone lines are open. Mr. Lewis, how do you feel about footing the bill for the lawsuits that's being filed?
Well, that's true. I mean, who gonna pay these bills? We, the citizens of Lafayette, we're gonna have to pay if we lose. Parish don't have the funding, but the city does. And I'm talking about we know it's gonna be millions of dollars. But so get your checkbook ready. But I mean, it's the truth, because if we lose these lawsuits, it's gonna cause the citizens of Lafayette. It will cause the taxpayer of Lafayette. That's who's gonna pay the bill.
And you know what, all the lawsuits that we have, and I feel our mayor president, Josh Gary, is making some dummy move that he think he's doing something slick to build himself up, you know, trying to fix the drainage. But you can't fix the drainage if you plugging the drainage up. You know, all these little what you call those things that he's drilling for
The retention pond.
retention pond. How are you gonna have a retention pond that the rain is coming in, the water is coming in, and you're gonna fix an overflow? You know, you can't fix it like that.
And Mr. Lewis, to just to clear the record before we get too far, Lafayette won its own autonomy. Lafayette won taxation with
representation.
with proper representation. Just to clear the record, is that a political or personal attack on anyone, any part of the government entity of LCG?
I mean, can you phrase that question again? I'm trying to follow. You said taxation with representation, well, when I talk about the unincorporated area and the council members, that's what I call, they're representing people, but they're not paying taxes. So that's what you call representation without taxation. The parish council members, they represent people, but the people not paying taxes in the city of Lafayette. So that's what I call representation without taxation.
Now, Is it for a political attack or personal reason?
Well, it cannot be political or personal, it's just everyone has to pay taxes. You know, so it's not really a political or personal reason, if I'm understanding your question correct. Everyone have to pay tax. That's one thing you have to do if you're a citizen of any in the United States. If you're a citizen, no matter where you live, you have to pay tax.
I just wanted to let you be able to clarify that,
Yeah.
because I know you pushed on getting to protect the city committee, and I seen in city parish alignment commission findings, they said that the reason it was being done for political and personal attacks. So I just wanted you to clarify.
Well, that's okay, and that's exactly it. Representation without taxation. You always hear taxation without representation. I mean, when we was talking about fixing the charter, they kept saying taxation with no representation. They kept talking about that, but then they're not realizing that what's going to end up happening is representation without taxation. So you represent people. You have 5 parish council members represent people, and they don't pay taxes to the city because they don't live in the city. So it's the truth. You look at it, So, but people were crying. They were saying that's why we need to fix the charter, because we have a lot of people is paying taxes, but they're not being represented. But no one was thinking about when I was saying, what about the representing people without paying taxes? But now people start to understand. You see, people need to understand this happened back in 1995, 96 when they consolidated. Years ago, it used to be Lafayette had his own mayor, and you had the parish had his own president. I think the parish president at the time was Walter Como. And then we had Lafayette had different mayors, okay? Then in 95, 96, that's when they combined. But again, the unincorporated area, they didn't have 70,000 people. They maybe had 10,000 people altogether. Because everybody was living mostly in Lafayette, or they lived in a city, and just had these little islands that maybe had 1,000 people here, like Cancro. In those little areas, probably had maybe just 1,000 people, 500 people.
Councilman, I was one that was standing up with you and fought with you for fix the charter. And they had a lot of people that went against you because you wasn't with fix the charter. Yeah. And they was talking about we was gonna get our own autonomy, we was gonna get this, we was gonna get that. And I'm saying, what stupid idea y'all have, because we already have that in position, And I'm gonna go back to when President Dorrell, Mayor President Dorrell, you understand me, brought it up to where it was gonna be Mayor President, not what you call it, what Walter Como was under.
City parish president.
City parish president, And if y'all gonna guarantee us that we're gonna get a mayor only, I'll go with fix the charter. But y'all not going with that. I remember people coming up to you at the council meeting, attacking you for not wanting to be part of fix the charter. And once they got fixed the charter in with Mike Hefner, Jay Castile, Bruce Comp, and Kenneth Boudreaux, they found out that they was not a part of fix the charter. They was getting kicked in the butt with all of that, And now they still trying to bring autonomy out that ain't no good for us,
And Mr. Lewis, do you think the notion of attacking city services, city funding sources, with doing more with less was a good thing for the city of Lafayette?
Oh man,
No,
come on,
not at all. Nope.
come
Man,
on, my co-host. Now, you know you can't fix it. No.
Well, you know, I understand this point because that's nationwide. That's what all people always say, that do more with less. That you know, workplaces. You know, where I work at, my wife work at, a lot of people work. That's what the common statement is: do more with less. I mean,
That's
that's what they do.
That's what the mayor president ran on.
Yeah.
And when he came in, he started implementing those things, and he got it.
But he's spending more money, you know, trying to do less, but he's spending more money. But he ain't spending money with the people that he need to spend it with. He only spending money with his friends and the people that he's more close to.
And he got away. He got rid of a lot of diet programs.
Yeah.
That was implemented, like the park police. Do you think the gatherings and the violence would have been happening in the parks if Oscar Benoit him and his team was still
No.
patrolling the parks?
No, all of this wouldn't have been happening because Chief Benoit, park ranger, he was the ultimate. You know, he kept a lot of things down in the park policeman. But if you notice, they took him out of chief of park policeman and they put him somewhere else. You know, so now they're not paying him chief being park ranger, but they're paying him for being a part of another services.
Well, he works at the sheriff department.
Yeah.
That's totally different.
Yeah.
He was another department.
Yeah.
He's retired from the city police and went to the sheriff department.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, you know, I can't understand how you're gonna do more with less, you know, and you're done less with more. You're done less with more. You're taking some things away, but it's costing you on the other end to do more.
I think what y'all need to do is have him come on your show so he can explain to
Oh,
you what he's
yes.
doing. So that way
Yeah.
he can explain how
Yeah.
he's doing more with less.
Less, yeah. That would be a great idea,
Yeah.
you know. But you think you're gonna come?
Oh, he might. I think, you know, he might come. You know,
He
why?
might.
Yeah, I mean, because a lot of times he's invited different places and he goes.
He
You know, so really, I mean, this is,
asked him about the transportation proposal he did on Carol Ross.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
What you heard, you remember that?
Come
Oh,
to the
yeah.
mic. Come to the mic, Mark. Okay.
But and Mr. Lewis, I know we had community leaders and pastors that met with the mayor president to discuss gun violence. Was any council members invited to that meeting or informed of them?
Well, let me say this. We always invite to go to meetings.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need a personal invitation to go.
Mhm.
It's out there, he put it out there, and then we go. I didn't go, I went to one of them before. I don't know if any other council member went, they perhaps went or not, I don't know. But we don't need a personal invitation to go. So I'm not, you know, if you didn't invite me personally, it don't mean I'm not invited. All this means that he had with pastors or different people, we always invite to go to his meetings. Yeah.
And I know it was brought out at a council meeting that they had some suggestions of starting a gun violence court. Now we know here we already have a drug court, and do you think the gun violence court would be successful in curbing the gun violence, and what you suggest should be done?
Well, you know, we know there's a problem with gun violence, and it depends how it's run. I hear people talk about why don't we have that buying gun program, buy a gun back, but it's not a good thing because if someone shoots somebody and you bring the guns back to the police officer, they don't ask questions, how are they going to find out who did who's the corporate? You buy the guns back.
They're not gonna sell their old guns. They can sell just them old guns to them.
Right. So how you gonna find out who, if this gun was used in a crime? How can you tell it was used in a crime? Because you're buying the gun back with no questions
It doesn't
asked.
work.
So I don't think that's good. But I mean, some people put that out there, but I'm one that don't think it's good. Again, it all depends how. Let's face it. We have to face reality. I like to live in reality. NRA, that's such a big organization. So how are you going to get rid of it? I mean, they paying the congressmen, the senators, they paying all these people a lot. They have a big lobbyists. It's hard to get rid of gun violence. Not the gun violence, but the guns. So what do we have to do? I mean, it's hard to say. You just won't be able to get rid of the guns. It's easy like that.
Yeah.
It's just a big organization that the politicians is protecting them. I'm gonna say it as it is.
Do you think poverty, economic instability, and mental health have a lot to do with the gun violence?
Oh, it does have a lot to do with gun violence, especially mental illness has a lot to do with it. This old crazy guy that did the Buffalo shooting, they're trying to remember now, they're trying to say he's crazy, mentally ill, but if it would have been somebody look like us, we would have had that opportunity to say that we mentally ill. We would have been, carried by 12 people. You know what I'm saying? That's what would happen with one of us.
Yeah, well, I look at things like that. That's not good to us, and it's not good for us. And like I said, the NRA is a big organization. They're going to fight for your Second Amendment right or your Fourth Amendment right, whatever right that they have to have. You're going to fight for that. And that buy gun campaign, we already did that. And they got about 44 guns off the street. But guess what? Those 44 guns that they bought off the street wasn't even working guns. They was guns that they find in the woods as they was hunting or something like this here that they didn't have no more use for.
But like you said, Mr. Falk, that really mental illness have a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
And again, I'm repeat what I said. If it would have been us, I mean, this guy was able to drop his weapon. But us, we would have been, like I said, carried by 7 people. That's what happened. We wouldn't have a chance to surrender.
I was listening to the Ross Report a while, 2-3 weeks ago, and Carol Ross start talking about, and I mean, it's kind of hard to really talk about it because it's sickening. Start talking about how
transportation,
the transportation, and talking about really making fun of people that's been brutalized by policemen, police brutality
She was
victims.
talking to the mayor.
And the mayor president
was on that show.
on the show.
As
As
sitting and grinning.
as she making the jokes, she
Yeah.
was
He was
laughing like it
Yeah.
was funny. How you feel? Do you feel a public servant should take a joke about police brutality?
Well, let me comment on that. I hear a lot of radio stations. I hear a lot of. I listen to the radio station. Sometimes I don't care to hear some things, but I hear. And our problem is not our problem, but some of the problem that I hear is that, they'll laugh at us, and make a joke out of it, at us.
Mm-hmm.
But when we together, we talk about us,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
not them.
Mm-hmm.
So I prefer talking about them than us.
Well, I talk about all of them.
Yeah, well, I mean, I understand it, but I'm just saying you can hear some. It's always, hey, they making the jokes about us, so let's make jokes. Let's laugh at them.
Mhm.
Let's talk about them.
Mhm.
Talk about them. I mean, because that's what their program. They get their ratings about us.
Yeah.
That's where the ratings come in. It's about us. So what you were saying, they were laughing. He was laughing at us, and what happened? But they got a big rating.
Yeah.
Correct.
You know, they have a big reading.
Look at Rush Limbaugh.
Look at Rush Limbaugh.
Rush
See,
Limbaugh.
now, yeah, look at this other old clown, Kent, Sean
Sean Hannity.
Hanley and all of them. You know, it's
Yeah.
always the criticizing us, but that's how they get their rating.
Uh-huh.
You
And
know?
for constituents, I know the transportation system is public. The public transit system is a city service. Funding for that for the transit system, and when it comes to budgeting on that, how does it work? Does the council approve funding for that, budget for that?
For transportation,
Yeah, for Lafayette
city
bus.
transportation.
Yeah.
Well, look, buses, people, you know, buses is not there to make money. It's not. I don't care where you live. You live in New Orleans. This is a government program. You know, it's not supposed to be there to make money. Make money. You know, it's supposed. You know, Lafayette should lose money to provide transportation for its citizen. You know, because if you look at it, we're not making that much money on it. We should not be making money. It's because it's for the people. It's not to make a profit.
Is it partially sponsored by the federal government too?
Yes,
They put
yes,
funds-
indeed. Right, by the federal government. So we should not be there trying to make money on it. That's why it's so cheap to ride bus than ride a Uber or city cab and what have you. It's cheap. In fact, there's a young gentleman that spoke to me about a year or two ago that he has a program that everyone that lives in the city of Lafayette can ride a bus for free.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but you know, he met with the transportation director here, and I met with him. It didn't go too far. I think he quit his job. He went work somewhere else. But this is again, the city bus is not there to make money. It's there it's there by the government for the people to utilize it, and the city is not there to make money.
And
We
that's
pay
what-
taxes for that. That's what the tax is for, to help people ride a bus.
I'm asking about the appropriation of dollars because the mayor and president was talking about there's a federal match grant coming up, and he's not gonna support that grant because it's too much. The city has to match too much, and he was talking about cutting back funding on the transportation system, like almost doing away with it.
Well, then I didn't hear his comment. I don't know that, but that'd be a conversation that we need to have with him. And I mean, doing away with city transportation. All cities have transportation, so I don't know how that would work.
Yes.
You know, might be another form of transportation you might be trying to, you know, to get. But you know, just like school bus, you know, you have transportation is free. It's there for the people. You know, the government provides transportation for its citizens. You know, and it's just the way of life for everyone. I mean, I don't know a city that lets you live in these little small cities like Count Crow and what have you that don't have buses, but because, you know, but they're trying to get it, you know.
Councilman Love, look here, our time has come to end. You want to
We
give
got,
a closing comment?
5 minutes.
No, my closing comments would be I just appreciate the time that I spend with you guys and your listeners, and there is an award that's being given to the APC, Acadiana Planning Commission, for the good work they did with the Four Corners that I led for the Bottle Art Loft, and there's a federal award, and by getting the people, you know, what I was instrumental in doing is having these town hall meetings that at Bridge Ministry, you know, and they won a national award that'll be coming out somewhere around in July, and you'll be hearing a lot about it. I just found out about it on a Wednesday, so it's a big award. They all celebrating. You probably might start hearing about it. It's time to come. So and again, about a couple of months ago, I think it was before Christmas, we had a grand opening at the apartments in at the Four Corner, and you guys were there, if you remember. So that's part of that award right there. And again, it's by the community getting together. That's why they got that award, because the community was together and decided what they want to do. And the university, I was at a meeting again on Wednesday. I just want my listeners to know that something else that's going to be happening. I think by the end of 23, we're going to have sidewalks on University from Cameron till Hollywood Street on both sides. the west side and the east side of University.
That's
So
good.
that's good.
Good,
That's
good.
something that I've been working on. I remember when we were having these town hall meetings, people was, you know, I had a lot of people was there, 60 people, 80 people, and they asked, what do y'all want to see that happens on University or around your area? And they was putting, beautifying. I said, come on, now y'all need to put something, hey, we got the money's coming, put something down, put,
Yeah.
you want underground utilities, you want sidewalks, you think they're gonna let that happen? I said, don't cut yourself short.
Mhm.
So they were putting on things, so you see, that's what I'm saying, whenever people are asking you, what do you wanna see that happens in your area? Put it down.
Mhm.
I mean, beautifying, anybody can go to Lowe's and Walmart and get some plants and get volunteers to plant that.
Yeah.
We got millions of dollars that's coming, so let's take advantage of it. Don't cut yourself short because you're gonna see why it's happening over there on the other end of town because they tell you what they want.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna see just beautifying some little nitpick things that are under $5,000, that's nothing.
No.
Let's say some millions of dollars. Now you see, it's gonna happen.
Mhm.
Ladies and gentlemen, great conversation with City Councilman District 1, Mr. Pat Lewis. Thank you for letting us come into your homes, your hearts, your eyes, your thoughts, and your ears. And Mr. Wallace,
Hey, Sam here, I wanna, piggyback on what you're saying. You know, I appreciate coming into your ears, your eyes, you know, your heart, and most so, let's stay loving each other.
and your
Let's stay focused on making sure that you are registered to vote. If you can't put your hand on your voter's registration card, it's time for you to re-register to vote.
And make sure that you vote. Register is fine, but you make sure you vote.
Yeah.
That's the key thing to vote. And I hear a lot of people say my vote don't count. I know a guy lost his election by 2 votes.
Yeah,
I know people lost his election
by one
by
vote.
1 vote. So
Yes.
so
vote,
your
vote, vote.
vote do count. And y'all don't forget to go support Lafayette City Marshal Reginald Thomas at Park International tomorrow.
Yes, all right. Thank
All right,
you.
Brother Jim.
Get your stream down right now. On this too. All right.
All right. We good. We all there?
Everything good.
We all there?
Yes, sir. Yes.